everybody, we're live and I'm Linda Cromar. I have been the master trainer for our products for now over a year. And I want to welcome everybody. Got quite a few new ones that haven't been here for a while. Hello, everybody. I'll just say hello, everybody, instead of individuals. I don't want to leave somebody out. I tried to respond as much as I could right before we started. And also, want to make sure you can hear me and see me clearly before we get started. I don't believe in making you wait when everybody comes early. And we had quite a crew that came early. Hello, Russ. Thank you for coming. And so let me know before I get going that you can hear me. Very important. Okay. Yes. Good. Yes. One more yes. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to actually pop right on over to our GotBackup. I'm going to go through an entire back office tour of GotBackup and make sure and pay attention because that's important for you if you're brand new, especially. So I'm going to go into our GotBackup. First thing that you see when you come in on the welcome screen is this video. There is a good reason to watch it. It does give you a good kind of quick overview of what's inside of this program. There are 3 buttons here. I'm not going to bother with those because they're all over here. And it's easier and I think a little bit less confusing if I only stay on this left-hand menu. Everything that you need to get started with GotBackup is actually under the tab called GotBackup under the Digital Tools. The very first thing that you would want to click if you're absolutely brand new and you haven't set up anything is to click this Use This Tool, okay? And as you can see, we're in the actual GotBackup dashboard. There are 2 places down here, depending on what the configuration is of your computer and your phone. You might notice we've got a Macintosh setup and we've got a Windows setup. Sometimes applications are kind of a combination. I think those are even more confusing. So do pay attention. Obviously, if you have a Windows machine, you would download the Windows. And if you have a Macintosh machine, you would download the Macintosh. Now, if you've been here before, don't get upset because I'm going a little slower because we've got a lot of new people. And then the next thing I want to notice is anytime you see an orange button, that means videos, okay? And I actually did watch these videos, and they are very helpful to help you get started correctly. If you have an Android phone, this is a shortcut over to the Google Play for the Android phone. If you have an iPhone, this is a shortcut over to the iPhone Apple Store. Now, I just happen to be one of those crossover people where I have a Windows machine, but I have an iPhone and an iWatch. So I need to watch videos on both of these tabs. I'm going to go ahead and click this so you can see what you would be looking at. In the Windows side, everything is all about Windows, but I don't have an Android, so I would have to click up here at the top where it says Macintosh if I want to know how to get set up with my iPhone. And I did actually watch these and they're very helpful. And I do recommend, because this is the one thing I can't actually do during our walkthrough, is to do a brand new setup in front of you. So please watch these videos so that you will not be confused about how to do that. And of course, once you have your app in there, you are going to see your icon in here. Now mine isn't here right now because I haven't been using the actual, I haven't actually been doing a sync in my computer because you have two choices. I'm going to show you this right now before I move beyond the screen. You can actually log in right here. Once you're, make sure you're, not logged out of your back office of GotBackup, but if you're logged in, then all you have to do is hit this auto login to get to your actual cloud files, which is really cool if you think about it. I have been in backup situations where I could not find my actual files, and I definitely had no ability to do any editing or any of that. So these icons across the top show you how to get to all of your stuff. And for instance, if you have some of your stuff ready to connect up, you can actually do that. I did that with mine, and you can also do that with Dropbox. I don't have any Dropbox stuff, so I wouldn't have a reason to do this, but it's not hard to do. You just click this button and find your access code. The next thing I want to click on is the Files tab. This is where all of your actual stuff is going to live. And as you can see, there's some things in here I have done in the past to show you how to do it. In my case, I prefer to do what's called a manual upload. And I have a folder called Online Backup, and I did a test a while back, but I have something I wanted to upload today, and I'm going to show you how you would do that. If I wanted to put something in this folder, and you can actually create folders, I would simply click Upload File. And this is something that I downloaded earlier, and I can actually upload this into my files. And it's really as simple as that. In just a few minutes' time, that document is going to be here. Here it is. And now I actually have the opportunity, if I want to open this by simply doing this. And what this is it's pictures I'm going to use in my primary lesson, but that's okay. That's how you would go about getting inside of that program. So now I'm going to go back to the GotBackup. We're done with Use This Tool. You saw the installation videos. Now I want to point out to you that there are now 4 languages in which you can share the link to get started with our program. Now, I am not able to speak any other language but English, so I'm going to actually click English. But remember, if you know someone that speaks another language, one of these other 3, you can actually go in there and get the link in their language, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to click on the English Reseller Tools tab. This is where you would find your actual link. It is always right underneath each of these big icon pictures, and you can also copy. Another thing that's pretty cool is if you want to know how to get to the tracking or the statistics, that's all underneath each of these icons. Everything is separated by each of these pages. And believe it or not, even though this is a demo account, this actually has statistics because I've shared it. It probably doesn't for February yet because we're brand new, but let's look at January just for the heck of it. It doesn't. Okay. But in mine, it does because, of course, I've shared this link a lot. Now, the next thing I want to point out is that there are several tabs across the top here, and these are important to know about for your own advertising or your own sharing of this product. So let's go ahead and click this one. This is examples of ad copy. It's called ad copy, but you could use this for just about anything. For instance, if you were going to do a paid email click where you were going to send out emails and you wanted them to use your copy and not write copy of their own, you could use some of this and share it with them, and they would actually be able to do that. Make sure and personalize this. And one thing that I also feel is important is that because of the way emails generally are sent to spam so easily, when you have a lot of links, you have a better chance of it ending up in spam, even though it isn't. So make sure that you are sensitive to how many links you use in a particular piece of advertising or emails that you send out. The next one over is the pre-enrolling ad copy. And I'm going to go into more detail about this in a little bit because I'm going to actually train tonight on a very important part of our basic GotBackup system, and that is the lead capture system. We have our own email system inside. In other words, in a lot of cases, many of our affiliate programs out there make you go and buy GetResponse or Aweber or one of the other systems. And we don't do that. We don't make you have to do that. So when we say that it is $10 a month to be an affiliate and to use this product, we truly are telling you the truth. You do not have to go out and get any other system or any other product to be able to use this and actually make money at it. The next tab over is called the banner. And the banner is really cool. I mean, many people like to go to websites where they have what they call banners, and this is what these are right here. And they have them in several different shapes and sizes depending on what you're going to use them for. For instance, this is the typical size that you generally see on a blog. And I use this one. I like this one because I put it on the bottom of each of my blog posts. And I've been using that for a good part of a year. We started in April. And then the next tab, the last one on this particular part, is the social media banners. Now, I do recommend that you actually use these sparingly. Reason why being is that if you fill up your Facebook or your Instagram with just ads all the time, guess what happens? People are not going to pay attention. But what if instead you did this once a month instead of more often than that? Then it might be something that people would say. And then don't just put up a banner, but put up a story. For instance, have you ever lost any of your personal photographs and videos? Tell your personal story and maybe use one of these. And I like to use one that looks a little more personal. Some of these, you want to use something that actually makes them look at you. For instance, I like this one with the girl, but maybe you could actually put your own picture with it and tell them your story about how you almost lost, or maybe you did lose, valuable pictures and videos and even documents. And this has saved you from losing anything in the future. Now, next we're gonna skip over VIP tonight because we're going to give a little more attention to our base product for the first week of the month. As you see in my comments that I put on this video tonight, I put some things in there earlier telling you that we were going to put a lot more attention into the GotBackup basic for this week. And so the next tab you see is the My Business tab. And this is where you're going to see your compensation information. And this first one actually talks about how you get paid. The first link right here, the first video, is about your personal referrals. In other words, people that join from your personal link. They become what we call your first line or your own direct referrals. And this explains how you get paid for that. Now, I looked just tonight and realized that even though my money went down a little bit for a couple of weeks recently, I still got a binary check. But don't sit around looking for your upline to do that for you. You need to do that for yourself. And this explains how that works. And you can go through both of these videos. Now, I suggest that instead of trying to become the person that knows a lot, be the person that knows how to point a lot. In other words, do you know where to point your new people to so that they can get started and understand this as well as you do? You don't have to know all of the details. You don't have to be the guru. You just have to be a good pointer. And this is one of the places you want to point them to inside of this system. And one cool thing is, even if you have someone that hasn't yet joined, you can download these PDFs and you can share those with people right now. Then the next tab down, the overview tab, is kind of just an overview of everything that's going on for all of your pages and everything that's going on. For instance, it does show that the pages are actually getting some attention. But that is not showing money, that's showing clicks and impressions, okay? Then the next tab here is when you will start seeing real money, it will show up here. Now remember that this is actually, today means that they need to have a period of time when they are not going to actually, you're not going to actually get paid on that first day that they pay, because they have a 4-week period of time that they are allowed to make a decision whether they want to have their money back. And we are very serious about making sure that they understand they can have their money back. So because of that, we do have a period of time in which you have to wait. And that is 4 weeks. And then after that, it's every Friday. The next tab down is how we get paid, and that is through one of these systems. So make sure that you have set up one of these. Depends on where you live. There are parts of the world where Payoneer is not used. I think Canada might be one of them. But I have had a Payoneer account for all of the 3 years I've been part of this company. And I've always gotten paid very regularly on Friday. And so I recommend, if you do have it, make sure and get that set up right away. Now, the Payoneer the payout history is where you will actually see when you get paid. Please read this part right here. Very important to understand that there is a little fee that you get paid. It actually comes back to you. The holdback fees come back to you after a time. And also remember that they're not going to pay out if you have less than $22 expected at that point. Now, remember again, this is actually a demo account, so it's not going to show real money. And then the next tab down is the My Download tab. And in this tab is where you actually will put people every Wednesday after cutoff, which is midnight Wednesday Central Time, when they're in the holding tank. that will give you the opportunity to put them in your own pay, your own downline. And I do recommend actually that you don't sit and let the company do it, because it will put it in the wrong place if you do that. And what you really want is everybody either on your outside left or your outside right. And so sometimes you will see things on the inside. Don't put people on the inside. Those are someone else's legs. So make sure that you are putting your own people in the right place, and you can actually do that pretty easily. What will happen is when you have an actual person in the holding tank, is that there will be open spots that you can actually click on. And when you click on it, it will pop up the username of that new person. And you can, of course, choose whether it's going to be the left or the right. And in the case when you start seeing larger, a larger link, area than 4 levels, this is only going to show 4 levels in this first part. Then you're going to click here and scroll down again on the outside left or the outside right and look to the very bottom of one of those legs. Now the next tab down is the My Direct Affiliates link, and that one is going to show, when you have a paid member, all of the details of that person. And that is really helpful, especially to have their phone number if you want to call them, or an email to make sure and send them a welcome email. It is a really good idea to not just leave it to the company, or even if you have follow-ups, but to send them a personal welcome. When they see that it is not something that came from the company, and it might even be from your Gmail instead of the company email, then they might respond a little bit easier, knowing that you are a real person and you're interested in them. So make sure and look in here when you have brand new people and send them a welcome email. And just be friendly. You don't need to sell to them, they're already in. Just be somebody that's willing to show them where to get started so they feel comfortable and they want to be part of what's going on. And one thing I always do, because they're not always connected to you in Facebook, is to make sure that they have your personal Facebook if they want to talk to you, because that makes it easier, I think, to use Messenger instead of an email to talk. So that's one of my suggestions. I wanted to also make sure you know that we have replays for our live webinars, but here is the full schedule for the week on our emails. These links will be changed occasionally, and it will take us back to that page I showed you where the affiliate links are. And it's always, let's go ahead and click this. It is always that second set of videos, which is down here. This is your actual webinar link, and make sure you have copied it from right here. It also comes to your email, so make sure that you do not take yourself out of the emails. For instance, I'm going to come over here, and I purposely opened up my profile and where my preferences are in my profile, and that's the second tab. And the way you get to that is by coming down here and clicking the username and then edit account. Okay, and when you edit account, you will notice I have all of this part here clicked and all of this unclicked. Because if you click any of these in here, it will actually opt you out. And then that means you won't be getting notifications about your upline or emails from the company. And that's very important to stay in charge with your company. So make sure they don't miss out on company emails. For instance, the emails that come about these webinars. They come and they actually tell us when these webinars are going to happen, and it makes sure that we are able to get our link from there. And if you have actually put your email in there and made sure not to opt out, then you should be seeing emails from the company that let you be on the webinars yourself and to promote it to the people that are in your team and anybody that is on your list. I recommend, which I do on a regular basis. I actually send out emails every single time we have one of our webinars, regardless of who is presenting, because I feel like that is very seriously important to our company, to our the people that we are associated with, our leads and our new team members. So make sure that you're doing that. Then the next thing down is actually, where are we at? Okay. The leaderboard. I wanted to point something out to you that you may not know. And that is, of course, some of you are new and you may not have yet ranked in the business, but the way our ranking system works is that it is an all-time total that you have. So it doesn't change after a month and go back to zero like it does in multi-level network marketing companies. It will accumulate over time, and it will not change from year to year either. So the reason why you see some of us ranking up to, these higher levels, I'm in the emerald at this point, is because it has accumulated from the very first rank of bronze now up to emerald. And one of the things you can do actually that's pretty cool is you can look at all of the people that have ranked, and you can find yourself in here if you want to. For instance, when I first started, we had Richard in here as a regular diamond and Jackie and Janet. Now the rest of these diamonds are new. And then there were a couple extra rubies that moved into diamond right away, like Paul did, and Anthony both moved from ruby right into diamond just this in the last few months here. And then we only have 4 rubies, but I want to show you something I think is cool. Did you know that you can actually sort by the level? For instance, if you are only bronze, now I don't mean only in the sense that that's a bad thing, because it's very important. But look at this. You can actually sort all the bronze, and you can look and find yourself. Now, I'm, of course, not a bronze, but if you have just started, look at how many. I mean, when I first started, there was a lot fewer people than there is now. And I think it was something like 600 and something when I first started out in here. So look at how far ahead this has gone now. And we're now at 2,635 people that have now achieved bronze level. That's amazing. And then you can do that, of course, with any of these, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to close that up. And that's something you can do just for the heck of it. Find yourself if you have already at least achieved bronze and take a picture of it, because that's not where you're going to stay. That's where you are right now. And if you have achieved copper, or if you are silver, wherever you are at this point, take a picture of it, because, go grab a screenshot, because in the future you're going to be in a different place, and it's kind of cool to look at where you have progressed from. So make sure and do that. Go and find yourself, and if you've at least achieved $20, go and find yourself. Go ahead and take a picture, even if it's 800 and something or 1,000 and something, don't worry about what the number is. Go and find yourself, take a picture, and keep it for the future. Because then in a few months, when you have achieved bronze or copper or silver or gold, you can come up and say, I am now ranked up from bronze to copper, or I am now ranked up from copper to silver. And you can say that on Facebook. And guess what that does? It gives you social proof. And that's amazing and very important thing that you want to do. Because just telling people they can make money is not as important as showing that you have done it. And you're not one of the gurus, you're one of the ordinary guys, right? And you did it. So you can show them how because you did it. So now I'm going to show you the next tab down, and that is our webinar replays. And I have really loved this particular page, and I wanted this page because it allows you to actually get directly to where our replays are, which is really cool because we have a lot of people in here. And of course, you can see right now we're live, but upcoming is Tammy and Chris for tomorrow, and they are now doing twice a week. They're doing Saturday and Tuesday, and you can come back here as far back as I think it was April 18th, something like that. But you can come all the way back if you want to. Of course, you don't have to, but there are a lot of really good things. Like, for instance, Jerry was doing some recruiting stuff for a while, and now he's gotten busy and he's not doing that. But it's very important to look. You have replays. If for some reason you can't always make the evening like now, you can actually go ahead and share this. And the cool thing is you can share this with your team, the people that you have brought in, or the people that are on your list. So let's come on back to our back office. And of course, we have a GotBackup leaderboard. We have the recognition and rank up. This is where you will find when you start to have individuals in your team that have at least ranked 2 bronze, they will start showing up in here. Now, this is again a demo account, so there is nothing in here. And then there's also a little welcome new member tab. And this is a little cool little badge you can send to people that have now just become brand new members in your team. Again, this is a demo account, so it does not have anything in it. But now I decided that tonight we were going to share, I'm going to share a little more detail about our lead capture system. Again, remember, I told you, you don't have to buy anything special and extra to actually send emails out to your own list, the people that are part of your team. Now, I did enroll myself, and that is why you see 1. But remember, this is not a real account, so there is no real people in here. But you can actually look through the list of subscribers. It will break it down in by the different things that are in here. And the custom campaigns are connected to a VIP list of pages, and the memory place leads are connected to the memory place that's in VIP. But the rest of this is the regular GotBackup. And it also has, for anybody that has, that has the full GotBackup, you have also a list for the Italian, Spanish, and French. So I really like the fact that it breaks it down by those lists so you can actually look at what's going on. Now remember, I told you that I was going to show you how to send the pre-enrollee page. So I'm going to do that now. And by doing that, I need to go actually back to my personal GotBackup, which is in here. And I'm going to go to the Reseller Center. Now this looks a little different on in the outside part here, but don't let that get you all excited. It just means that I have more of the products. That's all it means, okay? So we're going to click on the pre-enroll copy. And notice now that this has my name in it. It's not gibberish, you know, the code, because it now is my information. But I also want to pay you to notice that there are things that need to be edited, like right here. Now, I don't have a Telegram and I don't use Skype, so I'm removing those, okay? So what you want to do before we go any further is you want to click the email this now. And what it's going to do is it's going to take us over, and it's only going to go to the pre-enrolled, not to any of the other lists. I did an email earlier in the day, and this is actually the email that's going to go out. But remember, I am not going to send them a Skype or a Telegram because I do not use those, okay? And then I'm also going to write text only. And I'm not going to put my phone number in here because I prefer not to have people in the new group that's watching send me information or to actually talk to me on my phone, because I very seldom use it now for this particular purpose. But realize that this is actually what it looks like. This is going to put your personal username and name in here. So if you use a username like GotBackup affiliate, or, I'm just making something up, it's not going to look as personal as if it has your personal name. So make sure this is actually your personal name. I don't want it to be my username. I want it to be my name. And then another thing I want to do here is to add a picture. So I'm going to actually go upload a picture in here. And I have a picture I have saved inside, I believe it's in here. No. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in there, because this is not going to actually go out tonight. I just want you to see what I would do if I wanted to do this. So this is going to show me dimensions that are actually bigger than our email. So make sure and change this. 600 is the most ideal. And if you do 600, 600, that is going to work, okay? So I'm going to actually use that. And that's still a little large. So I'm going to actually bring this down. So I want it to be smaller. And I'm going to say, all right, so now I've actually finished my email. I'm not going to do any other editing, but that is how you would go about creating your own email for your enrollees. Now I'm going to actually come back again to the to the email system, which is actually under digital on mine. Sorry, I have a lot more stuff. Just remember that actually I have the same GotBackup you do. I just have a few more things in here. And what I prefer to do more than having static emails is I send what's called a broadcast. And so I'm going to send a new broadcast. Well, I'm going to actually write it in front of you. And one of the most important things that you can do, rather than trying to actually send a lot of ad copy, which people don't really enjoy getting, I want you to remember that the most important thing to do is to be friendly. In other words, what kind of an email would you like to receive if you became a lead in my system? Okay, so first off, the things that are on this side are the places where you have not yet sent an email. So in my case, I have a lot of lists. But make sure that all the GotBackup lists are over on this side. Choose one of these templates. Now, remember, there is nothing in here that is real yet. Okay, I'm going to remove this. All right, it doesn't let me. I'm going to just leave that with no logo. So I took the logo out. I'm going to take the title out because that's kind of weird. I don't use titles. All right. And so I'm going to have this up at the top. Now this is gibberish that's put in as a filler. So you don't want that, okay? Whoops. Sorry about that. I don't want all of this. So what I want to do is actually remove this. Make sure you don't take everything out. Whoops. Why does it do that? Okay, I'm highlighting too much. So I'm going to back up instead of highlight so that I don't mess up. Okay, now I'm in the right place to actually send an email. And remember, I showed you where the webinar was. So I'm going to go back to the webinar. I'm on an email, a webinar. Okay. So I'm going to go back to where we are at, to GotBackup, and I'm going to go back to our system here. And remember, I showed you where our actual link is. So we're going to copy this link. So now we've got that part copied, and we want to do it from here. So what I did earlier in the day, and you can do this 4 to 6 times a week because you have webinars that are going on right now. You have tonight, you have Wednesday night cutoff, you have Tuesday with Tammy and Chris, you have Friday morning with Mark, you have Saturday morning with Tammy and Chris. You have the ability right now to make sure that you are letting them know about this amazing training that is available pretty much every single day of our week, except for Sunday. Well, even Sunday. The only day you don't have right now is Thursday. And I'm kind of surprised we don't have somebody on Thursday. But anyway, this is what I would say. Hi, Linda here. Okay, comma. And then one enter usually puts 2 spaces in, which you do want to have. You don't want this to be very crowded because if you do, it will be uncomfortable for others, okay? So I'm going to say, hi, Linda here. Wanted to make sure you knew, whoops. Sorry, I'm hitting the wrong buttons tonight. You knew about Tammy and Chris tomorrow morning, they teach about how to use social media to build your business. Okay, remember we were recently at the live webinar link, but we also want to go down actually to the webinar replays. And let's go and click that, because that tells us what they're going to talk about tomorrow. Business Without Borders is their Tuesday. And their first one is 1 p.m. Eastern Time, okay? That is the time for U.S. if you are in the U.S. And pay attention if you are not, because they have other times in there for that. But in my case, I am in the U.S. So that is 1 p.m. tomorrow. And I'm going to put into parentheses Tuesday. And then I'm going to put the link in. Okay? So now they have the link. This is, of course, the demo link. And I'm not actually going to send that, but I want you to see how simple and easy it is to actually start really communicating with your leads and your new pre-enrollees. You can do this no matter how new you are. This is not difficult. Think about what I just did here. Did I do anything that you cannot do? No. I went and got the link, and I went and found out the time of this webinar for tomorrow. Okay? Now, the only thing left is to close. Hope to see, whoops. Hope to see you there. Linda. Okay? And then it would be a good idea to put a picture in here. I'm not going to put that silly picture in there, but I do have one I actually use frequently in my webinar, in my broadcasts. Okay? I recommend you take this out. So guess what? Was that a simple email or what? It was only a few lines. There is no seriously difficult stuff in here. There's a link to tomorrow's webinar, which is in the morning tomorrow or early part of the afternoon tomorrow. And they're doing this early because that also makes it so that it is accessible to international people, okay? So the whole point is that they are doing this for international people, all right? So this is as simple as anybody could expect to have an email to send. Now, could you do this on a regular basis? Absolutely, yes, you can. And that is what I wanted you to get tonight. And that is my training. I'm going to come back now here and close down my share. And I'm ready now for any questions that you might have. We went a little long, but that's okay. Anybody with David, to attach your story to your social media, you would download that banner, and then you can upload it again into your Facebook or your Instagram or anywhere else where you can have pictures, and then write something with it. I'm not going to have time to actually do a serious share on that right now, but it is not hard to do. What is your personal story about why you decided it was important to have GotBackup? That is your story. Upload the banner, and then there's always a space above the banner for you to write what you want to write. So that is simply all you would have to do. You are welcome, Yulia. Thank you for, are you saying thank you for what I just said or for the training tonight? You're welcome, David. Okay, I'm looking for questions to make sure everyone is happy that they understand. I wanted to spend enough time today on especially that email system. I think a lot of people don't realize they have that. And I think a lot of people don't realize how really cool it is to use that. Yes, the replay system is powerful. You have links right now that you can share. And did you know that they come to you from the emails? If you have not unsubscribed from the company emails, those emails send out replay links all the time. Both the link for an upcoming webinar as well as a replay. So yes, thank you. You're welcome, Edward. I'm glad you enjoyed our training tonight. I wanted to make sure you truly got the power of our lead capture system, because truly, for instance, if you had to get GetResponse or Aweber, you would actually have to pay at least after the first trial about $25 a month just for that. And we have a full system in our back office right now. And so I really think a lot of people really need to pay attention to that in particular. You are welcome. Thank you. Okay, any questions that you have, please let me know. We are pretty close to an hour. I did go a little long today. That's okay. I wanted to make sure I did cover that in detail. That was really important. You're welcome, Gloria. I'm glad you came. Looks like everybody's pretty happy they understand. I don't see any new questions. Last call for questions. A few more minutes here, and then we will go ahead and call it a night. But I want to make sure I have covered any questions on the material I talked about tonight. And we had a couple of questions, but just a few. I think our system is pretty simple, but it is worth taking the time to understand it. So do that. And don't feel like you can't go in there and mess around yourself. You cannot break it. In fact, I've tried a few times and I did not break it. So you cannot break it. So definitely go in there and check it out yourself. The more familiar you are inside of the back office of GotBackup, the more confidence you are going to have when sharing it with other people. Yes, your goals are definitely within reach. Thank you. I appreciate all of you that came. I saw quite a few new people that I have not seen before, and I'm really happy that you came. You have to move things over from the left to the right because they are going to just by default be on the left. And if you don't move them over, you don't have anybody you're emailing. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So that's good that if you need clarification of any kind, make sure and let me know, please, because I want to make sure that you do understand. And do go ahead and send emails about the upcoming training. That is one of the easiest things even absolutely brand new people can do. Okay? Once you have one lead, you need to be sending an email, at least for the training, if nothing else. Okay? You are welcome. I'm glad you came. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Last call. You're welcome, Leo. I appreciate you coming. How do we let you know about what? About questions that you have? I answered the one that you just now asked. That's how I know. If you ask another question, yes, I will answer it. You are welcome. I think is your name spelled AD or AID? Is that how you would say your name? I haven't seen that name before. That's an interesting name. But anyway, thanks all of you for coming. I appreciate that you took the time to be here tonight. Watch for emails about your upcoming training and promote the webinars all week long. Not just this one, because there are many that we can promote. We have something going on pretty much every single night except for Thursday. Pretty awesome to think about. And it wouldn't be surprising to me to see doubled up on some of those days, more training. In fact, I have seen that sometimes. In fact, I think there's 2 on Tuesday. The Italian training is on Tuesday, as well as the Tammy and Chris Business Without Borders is on Tuesday. So there's 2 on Tuesday right now. So that's pretty amazing to think about it. So you guys have an awesome evening. I appreciate all of you that came. Make sure and actually invite your own new leads and pre-enrollees and team members to all of our training. And next week, we'll talk a little bit more about the GotBackup, but we'll get into the VIP a little bit. And then we'll talk in detail about any of the products that you want help with. And I'll be talking with you again next week, same time, same channel, same place. Bye for now.